Hey guys, it's Tamara Bennett with Southern Adornments Decor. We are going to be painting this Hello Winter 3D design today. I've been wanting to paint this one for multiple weeks now, but I was going to paint it live last Tuesday and I was sick. So I'm finally here to paint with you guys. So if you remember last summer, we came out with one that said Hello Summer, and it had flowers that I painted kind of like daisies that went all the way up like this with a couple of extra ones on the side. And then in the fall, we came out with one that said Hello Winter, and it had a fence with some falling leaves. It was gorgeous. Well, I decided we got to come up with a winter one, which actually wasn't my own idea. It was your idea. A lot of you guys were like, are you coming out with a winter one? When are we going to get to do the winter? And so we finally came out with a winter design. You can get this template or the wood pieces, which we call a wood blank, in our shop at shopdoorhangers.com. I did put the link to both products in the video description for you all. And I'm going to show you how to paint this today. So our design has everything laser etched on the wood. So you're not going to have, it's like a puzzle. You're not going to have to try to figure out where everything goes. You're just going to paint it, and then you're going to assemble and glue it together. And we're going to paint this one super simple. So I feel like this is one that even somebody with zero painting experience can do. Raise your hand if that's you. Dixie said, I'm so glad you have this one. Good morning, Dixie. Hey, Linda and Deborah. Hey, Brandy. I'm excited to paint this one. So let's take all the pieces off. Let me just show you, first of all, how cool these are. This is like one of the most intricate things I think we've cut on the laser, and it's super delicate. So if you get one of these in the mail, be really gentle with them. They're only attached in a couple of spots, so this could easily break. Don't worry. If yours does break in the midst of you painting it, you can easily attach all of this back together with glue. And I think once it's painted and glued together, nobody's going to notice that you might have like broke a piece of it. So take all of these pieces and kind of set them to the side. They just lift right off. I'm just going to pile everything up here out of the way. Take all my letters. And then we have our blank, almost blank canvas here. Blank canvases intimidate me. That's why I love these laser etched designs. I don't have to figure out what I'm going to do. But we're going to do something super fun on the background of this by painting it these colors. Look at this color palette, y'all. Isn't this beautiful? We have Spa Blue, a really nice light kind of crystal blue. Then we have Baby Blue, which has a little bit more of a deeper tone. Then we have Periwinkle. This is one that I just had sitting around. So it's not your typical Americana. It's a multi-surface satin. And then we're going to add in a touch, just a touch of Purple Cow, because winter, these colors just scream winter. The blues are so wintry, and then every now and then I feel like you need a dash of purple for that winter. So we're going to start with doing something fun, which is just kind of squirting all of this on our canvas. Now, if you're worried about covering this up, don't be, because, oh, I'm almost out of this color. We may have to substitute another color. Here, let's do this. Get as much out of it as we can. We're just going to use it up. I think that's all she wrote. Okay, that was Spa Blue. If you don't have Spa Blue, another alternative would be this Crystal Blue. It's really similar, but I'm not sure that I'm going to need it. So let's go ahead and just put in a little bit of the Baby Blue. This is such a fun way to paint a background. Has anybody done it like this before? Hi, Carolyn. Hi, Melinda. Hello, Brenda. Now, I want more of the lighter color. Actually, let's do a little bit of white also, because once we start adding in like the periwinkle and the purple, it might overtake some of these if we don't keep the color light. So I'm going to put a little bit of white in here also. This is looking kind of crazy, isn't it? Y'all are like, Tamara has lost her mind today. Linda bought this one as a Christmas present for yourself. What a great idea, Linda. Has anybody gotten snow yet so far this season? Okay, this periwinkle is a lot darker than some of these other colors. So I'm just putting a drop or so here and there just to kind of disperse it. I don't want way too much. So just a little. And then the Purple Cow, even less. We're going to do just a touch of it, like 2 or 3 drops. The Purple Cow is not that dark, but I don't want this to be a purple door hanger. I just want the purple to be an accent. Okay, now for the fun part. Get your little car wash sponge. Remember these? We got them at the Dollar Tree. It's one of those giant, like, oblong shaped sponges, and you just cut it up into chunks. And so this is just a chunk of it. And then when you're done with it, you wash it out so you can use it again and again. And we're just going to do this. Look how fun. Look at the colors. Oh my goodness, this is so pretty. And if it feels like you got too much of a certain color, you can always add more color back on top of it in a minute. Or you could take some white and kind of soften it up. I don't want to mess up all these beautiful streaks of color. So I'm trying to be careful about not streaking over it too many times. Like I'm just trying to go across each section one time because I want to keep that beautiful streakiness to it. Look how pretty. That's so pretty. Oh my goodness, look at that. Look. This is so fun because you never know what you're going to get till after you streak it through, and then it's just gorgeous. Okay, we need some more right here. We don't have enough paint. So I'm going to drip in just a tiny bit more of this crystal blue, which was the one that we substituted for the spa blue. Might put just a tiny bit of white, just a little drop. And then it's got enough purple. It might need a touch more of this baby blue color. Okay. And then we're going to streak it again. And we're only doing that because I didn't get enough coverage on the first pass. So kind of look around, see if you see any spots that look like you still see the wood through it. You don't have enough coverage. You could always drip on some more paint and do this again. Okay, I got paint boogers flecking off of here at me. Here's another little spot. Okay, I'm just checking. Make sure I got good coverage everywhere. Look how pretty that is. Now we might have to dry it and make sure that we have good coverage because sometimes you don't know till it's dry. You love the colors? Donna says, I love to do my backgrounds like that. I do that when I'm painting the Christmas church. Oh, yes. So this is similar to how I like to do ombre sometimes, but this is way less intimidating than ombre because you don't have to have it gradually go from one color to another. You could just kind of streak together 4 different colors and get this beautiful background. Thank you, Melinda. Pam says, I like that technique. I love using ombre in my door hangers. Now, ombre goes from one color and graduates to another color, usually, like light to dark. But this is just kind of all streaked in. So I don't know what you would call this, but it's beautiful. Hey, Michelle, you found me live. Yep. She said, I can't believe I found you live. Dixie said, I'm having Lola flashbacks. Oh, yeah. We did this technique on the background of our Lola Highland cow door hanger last spring. I forgot about that. Thank you for reminding me. What about using winter blue? I don't know what color that is, Elizabeth, but if you think it looks pretty with your other colors, I say go for it. Marina says we're going to call this easier. I like it. To me, it's almost easier also than just painting a flat color on your background. Because sometimes when you're painting a flat color, it's hard to get it nice and even. But with this, you don't have to get something super even. All right, we're not done with our background yet. We're also going to add a little bit of distressing on top of this to take it up another level, to add a little bit more depth. Linda said marbling. I think of marbling as mixing. This is more like streaks. Color streaking. Maybe that's what we should call it. Color streaking. Hey, Norma. Thank you. Thank you, Judy. Okay, this is looking really good. This is what it looks like dry. Let me get it up close to the camera for you all so you can see the colors. I feel like the camera is not doing these justice. It's on this angle, it's washing them out. And then on this angle, if I get too close, it's washing them out also. They're vibrant, let me just say. Apparently, I got it all over the edge of that door hanger because it's getting all over my hands. Oh, well. My hands will be a beautiful color. This background reminds me of Frozen, the movie Frozen. Anybody else getting Frozen vibes off of this? No worries about the brush strokes. That's absolutely true. Okay. Got my little chip brush here. This is a 2-inch wide chip brush. I like this size for stuff like this. And we're going to use the same colors that we just used a moment ago. But I can't get this chip brush down in my egg carton. And we didn't ever put any in the egg carton to start with. We kind of just squirted it straight on the door hanger. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to squirt it on the lid of my ice cube tray. And just put a little bit on there. Let's even go for some white. Again, like I said at the beginning of this video, this is one that anybody can do. I feel like this is the perfect door hanger for a beginner to start with because it's very simple techniques that I have taught multiple times at paint parties, and they're very easy to do. Okay, here's all of our little, look how fun that is, those little paint worms. And we're just going to dip in one of them, and we're going to do more of the paint streaking, but we're going to do it with a distressing brush this time. So this is a chip brush, real scraggly looking. Just get a little bit on the ends there and streak it through. By the way, hey guys on TikTok, I don't mean to ignore you all. It's just hard to keep up with comments in multiple places. So if you're watching on TikTok today and you want to be a part of the fun over here on Facebook or YouTube, feel free to switch platforms and you'll get a more of a direct overhead view, and you'll have a little bit of a better view of what we're doing. Okay, that was that color right there, which was called, was it crystal blue? Yes, crystal blue, or spa blue if you're still using that and hadn't run out of it like I did. Okay, baby blue. Put a little bit more on there. Baby blue is not showing up too good compared to some of these others. Nobody puts baby blue in the corner. I crack myself up sometimes. Okay, let's do periwinkle next. This periwinkle is beautiful. It almost looks purple on top of these other blues, which is kind of crazy. I probably didn't even need the purple cow, but I do like the way that looks kind of streaked through there. But it's funny how you put certain colors together and all of a sudden the perception of them changes. It looks purple instead of blue on this door hanger. Okay, going for white next. White's going to be your favorite because it's going to show up the most on top of these other colors. I love to get down here near the edge and kind of flick it on like that and create just a little bit of texture. Go really light across the middle if you haven't done dry brushing before, because you don't ever know how much you have on your brush. And so if you kind of go on the edges first and get the excess off, then you can be a little more aggressive in the middle without worrying about doing a huge streak somewhere that you might not want it. Okay, now for purple cow. Just a little bit of touch of purple here and there. How fun. I could just keep doing this all day because it's so satisfying to add all these colors. Okay, there we go. We got our colors, and then we have our distressed colors on top of it. And Dixie says, I use the lids a lot. I know, it's like a free little plate that you've got here with your little ice cube tray lid. And then when you're done, you can just sit and scrape it right off, or wash it off, scrub it off. My son the other day sat here with like a palette knife. He was bored and he sat here with a palette knife and scraped the paint off my table and off of my ice cube tray lids. Sherry says, I love how the mixture of colors makes it look like a cold day. Yes, exactly. Shannon says it's totally giving her Frozen vibes. Katie says, do you have smaller rounds or something that you can use to decorate double doors? We have lots of designs in our shop that you could coordinate for double doors. Or you could order them in 12 inches. We usually go for 12 or 18. We don't really have a size in between. If you're ordering just wood rounds and using templates, though, you can get sizes 14 and 16 inches in there. So it's up to you. But yeah, these would look beautiful on double doors. Pam says, is he for hire, my son? The problem is he only wants to work when it's his idea. Okay, we've got it mostly dry here. And now we can start painting our other pieces. So I'm going to start with this piece that goes behind the snowflakes, which the guys in the laser shop were like, is that piece really all that necessary? I'm like, yes, it provides depth. Just trust me. All right, I'm going to scoot this up and out of the way. And we're going to put this all down here. They're not artistic. They don't understand. Okay. And then I'm going to use a large flat tip brush for this. And the color that we're going to use, I think, I'm like, do I want to use, I was going to use this Victorian blue, but I don't have very much of it. And so now I'm kind of looking and I'm like, well, we used the periwinkle on the Hello Summer. And that might, it looks darker against these other colors than I thought it would. So let's try the periwinkle. And if it's not dark enough, we can add a touch of the Victorian blue to it. Let's test it. Let's do it on one of these little pieces. We'll just give it a good little base coat there. Let me dry it. And we'll test to see how it looks on top of the rest. Hey, Cynthia, watching during lunch break. Oh, thank you, Carolyn, for your kind words today. That makes my day. Dixie says it's all about the layers, guys. I know, right? They're like, yeah, but do you know how much cut time that adds to the laser machine? I said, I don't want to hear about none of that. Just go cut my stuff. I get sassy with them because it's my husband and my brother. Okay. Is that going to be dark enough if our snowflake that goes on top of it is white? I think so. It's a lot lighter than the Victorian blue that I thought about using, but I feel like this is going to clash a little bit. It's going to be too dark. So I kind of like the direction we're going with the periwinkle. Let's continue. So let's paint each of these little pieces with our periwinkle. Is anybody painting with me today? Are y'all painting something and watching me, or are you wrapping Christmas presents, or is everybody at work just trying to survive until Christmas? What's going on in your neck of the woods? That's right, I'm allowed to. There's Whitney. She said it's an old Cotton Chaos. Oh, yep. This shirt is a vintage Cotton Chaos design from like 2 or 3 years ago. I was looking for something to wear today, and I'm like, man, I've worn almost all of my Christmas shirts on a live. I need something different to wear. I don't like to wear the same shirts back to back on multiple lives because I don't know. It bugs me. I'm the one who sees myself all the time in these pictures and stuff, and I want it to be different. And I was like, well, today I'm painting something that's wintry, so maybe I should wear something wintry. Even though we don't have any snow here in Kentucky yet, I decided to wear this little guy. Oldie but a goodie from Cotton Chaos. And so he's got on leopard print glasses. So do I. Got my leopard print toppers on also. Johnny says, I'm staying focused on what you're doing. It's learning time. I like your commitment. Wanda is diamond painting. Ooh, I have never done that. I don't know that I would have the patience for it. Hey, Delane. Diane's painting a quilt block, and Pam is cleaning a newly designed craft room. Oh, that sounds wonderful, Pam. You're going to love that when you get it all set up. I don't know why I'm holding it up like this. I think I'm afraid to get paint on my table. That's what it's for. It's also a lot faster than hovering it in the air while I paint it. Okay. That piece is painted. Scoot it up. Elizabeth says, wish I was painting with you, but medication time. Oh, I'm sorry, Elizabeth. Diamond painting is relaxing. I've never done it, but I don't know. Maybe I should give it a try. Michelle's painting Christmas ornaments. Carolyn's watching between patients. Are you a nurse, Carolyn? Cutting out ornaments on the laser. What kind of ornaments, Debbie? Are they layered? Are they flat? What do they look like? Wanda agrees. Diamond painting is relaxing. Okay, maybe I should try it. Never done it before. Do they give you patterns? Is it like you follow the pattern, kind of like paint by number, but it's with little diamonds? I'm like, that sounds cool. I wonder if I could use one of my templates with diamonds. I feel like I'd have to do it on a really small scale. It sounds tedious, to be honest. So that's why I'm a little bit like, I don't know if I could handle that. You were saying what kind of laser? I think they were talking to each other. I have a few more Christmas gifts that I'm supposed to make, and I have not done them yet. So I really need to take the time to do that this next week. I'm running out of time. Carolyn ordered rounds, waiting for them to come in. It's like going through withdrawals. Do you order them from me? Maybe I need to get busy shipping. We're going to be doing a lot of shipping this afternoon. So if you're waiting on an order, maybe it'll go out this afternoon. We've been behind. Debbie's doing snowflakes and snowman windows from Southern Adornment Decor. I finished my little snowman window. You want to see it? How cute is he? I finished painting him this past week, and I did the crackle. I did a better job. You see the crackle? I did a much better job on it. That was like my 6th attempt. Now the back, I did not do such a great job. The crackle turned out great, but I streaked it like that. So I kind of want to redo the back. I don't know. I was testing it, and I think the trick is to get the paint thin enough that it will crackle well. But I'm like, how do you thin the paint out without doing it so thin that you should have done it, that it looks streaky like that? Okay. I was thinking about doing another coat on these, and then I'm like, well, we're going to have snowflakes that cover up 90% of this. So maybe I'm overthinking the fact that it needs another coat of paint. So let's just lay that to the side and paint the snowflakes. Be very gentle with your snowflakes. They're very breakable. Okay, now for these, kind of thinking that I need I don't know. I was trying to decide if I need to like paint them with a sponge or with maybe a sponge. Let's try this little dude, because I don't want to get a bunch of paint down in the cracks and crevices. And if you do with a paintbrush across these, the paint will like go off the shelf on the edge and go down in there, and that's not what I want. So let's try this. They're little. It's got crumbs on it from where my son was scraping the paint off of it the other day. All right, I'm gonna put this on here like this, and then this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna dab with this. I don't even know where this one came from, to be honest. We're gonna dab this little sponge in here. Dab off a little bit. That way we don't have a ton on there. And we're going to do a pouncing motion to paint our snowflakes. This thing needs some weight on it. It's jumping up and down. And we're just going to pounce on our white paint. And it does get a little bit on the edges of the laser etched, or I mean of the laser cut, but it's a whole lot better than if I were using a paintbrush and it was scraping over the sides of each little piece. Oh, that you can make your own custom diamond painting? I had no idea. Wanda's waiting for ornaments with the resin. I'll send that out to you this afternoon, Wanda. I have some help coming at 1 o'clock today. I have help coming to help me with shipping, and we're going to get caught up this afternoon. That is the goal. Tina said, I feel like I've missed you all. Had the flu last week. I had the flu or something last week, Tina. It was miserable. And so I didn't paint live last Tuesday. I was supposed to paint this last Tuesday, and I was so sick. I had such a bad fever. I was only like really, really bad sick for like one day. The rest of it, I was just kind of lousy, feeling like tired and coughing and stuff. But the bad fever, like in the bed kind of sick, only happened on Tuesday last week. Keep pouncing till you got good coverage. I don't want to have to do more than one coat of this. So I'm trying to like get it all good coated on the first go around, but we'll see. It might not work. Okay. Let's do these little guys too. Kind of doing like a pounce and a scraping motion. That seems to be working pretty well. Debbie has a cough too. Everybody's sick right now. Oh goodness. Get it all out of your systems before Christmas. That way we can all enjoy Christmas. It's no fun to be sick on the holidays. Okay, we need more paint. Hey Rachel, you're at work. Somebody said that there's just something viral going around that's not really the cold, not really the flu, not really COVID, that it's just some kind of viral something. And it's like, so maybe that's what I had last week. I don't know. I didn't go to the doctor because I was like, it's gonna just, I'll get over it. I was like, my body will handle it. And it did. I got better. Lots of pouncing. This pouncing, though, is kind of pretty. Like, look at the effect that you could get if we had done the snowflakes in a darker color and then pounced on top of them with, like, that wouldn't have shown up well on this background. But I'm saying, like, if you want to change this up and try something else, this little pouncing motion with the sponges creates some really cool texture. So you could, like, do a two-tone snowflake if you wanted to. Okay, let's make sure we get good coverage here. Be real gentle with this. Don't pounce it till you break it. They are very delicate. We broke one or two of them getting them off the laser machine just because they're so delicate. Okay, let's try it. Let's see if it needs another coat. Thank you, Janet. Brandy says, give it a little shimmer on top of the white. Yeah, I'm thinking we need either glitter or a pearl paint. So drop a comment and vote. Glitter or pearls? Glitter or pearl paint? Which should I do on top of these snowflakes? Robin says, I like some of the brown coming through. Yeah, that gives it definitely a little bit more of a rustic look. Susie votes for glitter. Brandy is always here to advocate for shimmer and shine. Weren't you the one who suggested I add glitter on the door hanger we did yesterday in the clubhouse? Laura says pearl. I'm seeing lots of people say glitter. Susan says pearl. Johnny says glitter. Regina says always glitter. Of course, always glitter. Okay. I think they need one more coat of white just to make them nice and bright. Oh, it was Dixie yesterday. It's either Dixie or Brandy. They're always advocating that I add glitter to something. It's okay. I need that in my life because sometimes I get in a rush to finish things because I'm like, oh, I'm hungry. I need to get off this live. And so sometimes when you guys suggest stuff like that, I'm like, oh, you're right. Well, 5 more minutes won't hurt. We'll finish it up. We'll add some glitter. We'll do the little scrapey motion. It's kind of quicker, but it doesn't give you as good of a coverage. And since this is our second coat, we don't need as good of a coverage. It's just another quick coat. So satisfying how quickly this covers. These little sponges are a lifesaver. So if you haven't picked up sponges from your local Dollar Tree, this is your PSA that you need to do so. Just make sure when you're cutting them up that you got like a nice flat edge. That's what's good about this one is I like the flat edge. It's able to kind of scrape that paint on nice and quick. Okay. Now let me think about the glitter for a minute while this dries. What we need, look how pretty these are. We need to paint our letters also. But I'm trying to decide like if it needs to be loose glitter, which makes a big mess, and I don't know about it. Or if it needs to be like glitter paint. Hey, Missy. Have I ever spray painted pieces? I have not. I see lots of people do that on TikTok, but I have not done that. Okay, here's your little hack of the day if you did not know about this. Use painter's tape to hold your tiny pieces down on the table. Sorry guys, yeah, on TikTok they're like, who's she talking to? I'm live on Facebook and YouTube also from my MacBook and my iPhone here. So if you're watching on those platforms, you're actually getting the best angle and view. Plus you can see all the conversation going on in the comments. So TikTok I've got going, but it's kind of just like in the background. It's too hard to watch comments in 5 different places, but I appreciate you guys for being here. So while I'm laying this out, I'm going to remind everybody, if you want to paint one of these yourself, there's a couple different ways you can do that. We have the template in our shop at shopdoorhangers.com The template allows you to print out a PDF version that you can lay out on a wood round of your own. Or you can trace it on wood and cut out your own pieces. It's going to be harder to do 3D with that, I will say, because you'd have to sit and scroll saw cut all of these little pieces, which is a lot. Or you can order the wood blank from our shop at shopdoorhangers.com, and we will mail it to you, and you can paint your own. Okay, so I'm just taping all these little pieces down so that when I go to paint them, they aren't jumping all over the place. Actually, it's going to make it a ton easier to sponge paint these too. Okay, these are going to be an even darker blue. So, do I have another sponge handy? Let's see. I do not. We may have to just flip this one over and use the other side of it. All right, for the darker blue, I think I wanted to use almost like a navy color, like this one, Royal Navy. I thought it would be real nice and bold on our background. I'm going to try to use this end of it. Try not to get the white of the sponge. It's hard. If this were not on a Facebook Live, I would just jump up and run to the sink and wash this out, dry it real good, and go again. But on a Facebook Live, I got to be creative and like not have to get out of my chair. That's why I've got everything like at arm's reach here as much as possible. Look how well that covers. This is Royal Navy. It's a color by Deco Art Americana. Dixie says glitter is the bacon of the craft world. It makes everything better. Jane says the glitter paint that you put on with your fingers stickles. Ooh, Jane, thank you for that reminder. Let me look and see if I've got some that's like clear. That might be our best option because I wanted like chunky glitter or like I wanted it to be obvious, and I was afraid if I used like the regular kind that I just brush on, like the craft twinkles, I was afraid it wouldn't show up enough. So the stickles might be a good in between. I hate using loose glitter. I don't like making a big old mess on everything, because then I have to clean it up. I don't have a little craft fairy coming behind me cleaning it up. I bet y'all don't either. Oh, Johnny, I'm sure Charlie would love to do my glitter for me. Melissa says deep midnight blue is my favorite dark blue. I don't have that one, Melissa. I'll have to check it out. Do I ever spray paint my pieces? I don't, Missy. I don't know if I answered your question already or not, or if it was the second time you've asked it, but no, I don't spray paint pieces, but you totally could. I've seen people on TikTok do that. They spray paint pieces and then glue them all together. I kind of like the look of something hand painted, and I love the way I can like make it a little more custom. Plus, spray paint you have to go outside for or have a painting booth, and I make a mess with spray paint. I always get it all over everything. Whoops, I accidentally got white on that from the other end of that sponge. I forgot it was on there, and I got careless. Okay, I'm tilting my head to make sure that even though the light's glaring on it, I got it covered good. I think I did. Okay. Let's take these off. Be real gentle. We don't want them to break. Boy, that painter's tape had them on there good. Okay. They're stuck. Stuck well. Don't forget the dot to your eye. That's another thing that the guys on the that were cutting things on the laser were like, do you really need the dot on these eyes? I'm like, yes, I do. That's a dumb question. Oh, they're crazy. I'm like, yes, it's an eye. You need a dot on it. Oh, that's okay, Missy. I think I just read it twice. Okay, let's start to put everything together. I'm running out of table space. Okay, as promised, if you paint over the background, you can still see those laser etched lines through the paint. So, you know, if you were worried about that, you're still going to be able to see them so that when we glue everything together, it's all going to be okay. All right, this is the kind of glue that I'm using. Stick Fast, the thick one from Amazon. This is linked in my Amazon favorites. I'll put my Amazon link down here if anybody needs some of this. It's good stuff. Yes, this template is available, Jill. Okay, figure out where your placement is before you go putting glue on it. Okay, this one's going to go here. The pieces are identical, the top and the bottom. And I'm just going to go ahead and just do this and just put little dots. You don't need a ton of glue. A little goes a long way. Do y'all remember the little saying that I taught you that my art teacher from elementary school taught me about glue? Who remembers it? For those of you who are diehards who watch all my videos, somebody knows it. Okay, line it up with those lines and then press down. And actually, I have some cute little clamps that we can use that I bought at the Dollar Tree. So I will put those on to hold it in place while it cures. These are like the tiniest little clamps. Missy said, I just did my first layered sign earlier this month. So much fun. We've started coming out with a new one pretty often, about once a week or so, but I don't always paint them live. Donna says, little dab will do you. That is a common saying, but that's not the one she taught me. Little dot does a lot. Who remembers the rest of it? I thought it was something everybody said. And the day that I said it on Facebook Live, everybody was like, we've never heard of that before. And I'm like, you mean every art teacher didn't teach this to their kids? I mean, I really thought it was one of those things that like every kid in America knew the saying. And so when I said it out loud, everybody was like, what? What kind of glue? Stick Fast. It's the thick one. It's on my Amazon favorites. Okay, for those of y'all who don't remember, I'll teach it to you again. Little dot does a lot. Big glob is a slob. That was my art teacher from elementary school. She taught me that, and I've never forgotten it. And I think about it every time I'm doing little dots of glue on something. So if you're a teacher yourself, just know you're having an impact on your kids, even all the way up till the time they're nearly 40. They will remember the things you say. Look how pretty this is, y'all. Look. Okay, this time we're going to put it on the back of this. Missy said I had a teacher that said if it's white, it won't stick tight. Does that mean that that you have too much glue if you're squeezing it out and it's white? One dot, not a lot. That's a little bit of a shorter one. Okay, I'm just going to put a little on the back sides of these snowflakes. And I just mean a little. If you put too much, it will kind of like come out the edges and kind of make a mess. Somebody in our clubhouse, and I can't remember who it was now, posted something the other day. They used this glue, and it kind of like created almost like little bubbles around the outside of the design where it came out. So I don't know if it had a reaction with the paint. I'd never seen it do that before. And that could be because she used a little too much. I'm not really sure. It's only the first time I've ever seen it do that. This is a good one to hang up all winter long, especially if you're in an area that gets lots of snow. Okay, we're going to lay this down. Now, there's not laser etched lines for where to put this, but you kind of just line the little points up with the edges here. Get it sort of centered up on that piece and then press down. Whoops, I did not get that centered up very well right there. Okay, too much glue is white and won't dry and hold tight. That makes sense. I like that. It creates a haze sometimes if you use too much. Okay. I haven't had that happen, but I'm sure it does. Okay, let's glue this one down. This is so satisfying to paint. When you like get all, like, cause I guess it's, you paint all the pieces and you don't see it all come together till the very end when you glue it all together. So, you know, it develops and looks a little different along the process compared to other things that I normally paint. Little dot does a lot. Big glob is a slob. Now, line this up. Kind of paying attention to this snowflake and this snowflake. As long as they are centered within that little background area, then you're going to be good. What's the name of this template? It's called Hello Winter. I've got it linked up in the video description, Karen. So if you want to get the template for it, it's $7. You can cut out your own pieces. If you have a laser machine, you can cut it out that way. You can manually cut it out if you want to, or you can buy the wood design from us. It's called a wood blank, and we'll mail it to you with all the little pieces intact. And all you have to do is sit down and follow along with this video to paint it. Now this little piece, I need to rotate it around until I find the part that, because it's not perfectly symmetrical all the way around. So I was trying to find the part that matches up. There we go. No, maybe that's still not it. Keep rotating. Okay, I think I got it that time. What's the glue that I'm using? Stick Fast. It's the thick version. There's different ones, but this one is the, I don't know why they always put the label right over the front, but it's the thick Stick Fast, and it's on my Amazon favorites. Brandy says, I think I'll make a sign that and put a blue bottle with a paint bottle on it for my paint party area. That's a fun idea. I want to see a picture of it when you do. Are any of you guys teaching paint parties? Do you have a lot of them lined up? When I used to teach paint parties back in the day, this time of year, I would have a few of them, but then like after December 15th, they usually kind of slowed down a little bit because people were doing parties with their families and whatnot for the holidays. Let's see. Get it lined up. Thank you, Tracy. How does Stick Fast hold outdoors? I haven't had a problem with it. Brenda, it's called Stick Fast. It's pretty much just super glue. Charlie is always sneaking in here. She loves this glue. She uses it all the time for all of her little projects. One day she got it all over her hand. She's like, Mom, it made a big mess on me. And I'm like, because it's super glue, baby. This is not Elmer's. Like, that's going to happen. You got to be careful with it. You can't use it quite so freely or you'll make a mess. This is turning out so pretty. I'm so glad we went with the periwinkle for the background color. I think anything darker would have been too much. So I'm glad I trusted my gut on that one. And if at the beginning, if you are painting this and you're worried about your background and worried that you don't think it looks good or it's too streaky or something like that, just notice how, like, when we start putting all these pieces on there, it pushes all that to the background. And you don't know, like, if you got too much white in one spot, it's not nearly as noticeable when you get all your pieces glued on here. Also, remember how I was talking about the periwinkle that I painted on the background of these snowflakes? I wasn't sure if it needed another coat. Now nobody's ever going to notice because, like, with all this other stuff glued on top of it, you don't notice. So satisfying, gluing all these little pieces in place. It burns your eyes? Huh. I guess you're talking about the glue. Mine are burning just a slight bit, but I hadn't even thought about it being because of the glue. Hey, Cassie, you missed most of this tutorial, but you can go back and watch the replay. That's okay. We're painting the Hello Winter design, and we're just now finishing it up, gluing everything together. How long have we been live? 44 minutes. This was a pretty quick project compared to some of my other door hangers. It didn't take me nearly as long. We did a lot of it with like a sponge. And so the sponge is super quick painting. And I was talking earlier about how perfect this one is for the beginner who's a little afraid to paint their first door hanger. because it's not a lot of really technical stuff. The most technical part was right there at the beginning when we did the background, and it was really easy to do. So I really believe anybody could achieve this with little painting experience. Christine said, I wish I had a total reverse shoulder replacement. Are you going to print the list of paint colors? We will, but it'll probably be available just to our clubhouse members. We're taking all of our supply lists and putting them on a password protected page, because that is like a really valuable page. And we decided that that should only be available for our Painters Clubhouse members. And so it will be on that supply list, but that's only for our clubhouse members to access. So if you want the paint colors of this one, you'll just have to rewind from the beginning. I think I told all of them at the very beginning. The only one that I didn't tell at the beginning was probably this one, which was the Royal. I got a little bit of paint on that one. Royal Navy. Oh, it looks so good, y'all. Let me hold it up for you. Oh, we haven't even done our glitter. Hold up. We aren't done. What was I thinking? Y'all almost let me forget the glitter. Oh, you're a club member. Okay, good. I was thinking you were. Okay, this is what we're going to use. This was Jane's recommendation. It's called Stickles, and it's a glitter gel. So the fun thing about this is that we can do this with our fingers. And so you can just kind of stick your finger in there and just dab, 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 and get it right on the little snowflake. And I like that because you're dabbing it on with your fingertips, you can kind of put it on more densely than you can with a paintbrush. And so I'm going to kind of make it look a little bit like thick and crystallized in certain spots. Maybe not the entire snowflake, just because that would be a lot of stickles. But like on the edges, maybe. If y'all haven't bought Stickles, these are made by Ranger Ink, the company that makes like the Tim Holtz distressing inks and lots of like scrapbooking and card making supplies. Ranger. They are also the makers of my little heat gun that you guys see me use all the time. And so you can find these on their website or on Amazon. I've shared about them in a previous Friday Fab 5 before. And I don't know what these were intended for. I think they were probably intended for like card makers and scrapbookers and stuff like that. But we are using them on our door hangers. And I really love them. I think I just like finger painting with them, to be honest with you. But also, I don't know, when they dry, that glitter is like really stuck in this, whatever this whatever this glue, I can't say it. The gel, that's what I'm trying to say. Whatever the gel is that the glue is made of really sticks well. They also sell Stickles in like a little squeeze bottle, almost like puff paints do, you know, in the little Rider bottles. I have a few of those. I used to have a few of those. I don't know if I still do. But I used those a lot way back in my scrapbooking days. But this is like a little pot. And I just like dipping my fingers in it and putting the gel on. Trisha loves this door hanger. Thank you, Trisha. Hey, Una, thank you. Cassie, this is an old t-shirt from Cotton Chaos. We were talking about that earlier. It's one from a few years ago. But I had to wear something Christmas or something wintry for you all today since we're painting a winter door hanger. Oh, I almost forgot this one right here. This is so pretty. The little crystal glitters look so lovely on it. It's just such a soft little sparkly touch. I know y'all can't see it very well from where you're sitting. I apologize. I'll try to pick it up and show you the glitter here in a minute. My fingertip is so sparkly. Okay, somebody said, so if we buy this door hanger, you won't give us the name of the paint that you use? Oh, I'm not saying I won't. I'm just saying we aren't putting it like in a fancy supply list for everybody. We're keeping that just for our clubhouse members. But I tell you exactly which colors I'm using on a live. You would just, if you're not a clubhouse member, you just need to take a few notes when you're watching the live, so that you could, if you don't have all these paints on hand, so that you can go to the store and grab them and stuff. So those supply lists that we kind of had like all made up and stuff, we're just going to be putting those in the clubhouse for our clubhouse members to have easy access to. So no, I don't gatekeep information. Like I don't say I'm not telling you what paint color this is. I'm not, definitely would never do that. Because otherwise, what's the point of going live to paint it? Is just to say you can watch me, but I'm not going to teach you anything. No, that's not my style. It's just the fancy, easy printable PDF that's going to be available just to our clubhouse members. But I will always tell you what products I'm using, what colors I'm using. I will never gatekeep that kind of information. You can always count on me to tell you what it is I'm doing and to shoot you straight. Where do you get the stickles? Ranger Ink. The Ranger is the company. I've shared them on a previous Fab 5, but I think I might have them linked in my Amazon favorites. I don't recall. I'm trying to get the extra glitter off my hands here. Hey, Rita. Okay, let me hold this up, and I'm going to try to show you the glitters. That's not going to work. Hold on. Hold on. Instead of holding the door hanger up and trying to get this just right, I'll do this. There's some sparkle action. Can you see the twinkles and the sparkles? It's much easier if I can hold the phone like this and show you. So pretty, so glittery. All right.